Hello everyone, welcome to Soft Rebuild, where rebuilding gets real. Today I wanted to talk about why life is the biggest teacher that we will ever have. So I'm not saying they're professionals that help. I'm not saying that they're not helpful. So I myself have been to life coaches in the past or, counselors in the past. But what has really helped me know myself is the silence, is the spending time with myself. So the real healing or rebuilding happens when you start knowing yourself better. Example would be when I started reading all the self-help books, and there's more that I'll talk about on this channel in coming weeks, but there's definitely one that comes to my mind is The Courage to Be Disliked. Now, that's a very powerful title, and I got really attracted to that book. Now, from that book, my main lesson was the separation of, responsibilities and what you can control. So if there are things in your life that you can't control, well, there's nothing you can do about it, right? So you just deal with things that you have control over, right? And that is how you react to everything. So when triggers happen, and this is where I'm getting to, when you are living your day-to-day life and there are triggers that occur, right? That's where the real teaching is. I'll give you an example. So I really love my niece. And sometimes there would be, family dynamics, brother-sister dynamics, due to which I'm unable to see her. And not seeing her would sometimes trigger me. And it's only when I sit with my thoughts, I think, why does it really bother me? Of course, she's my niece, right? There's always a special relationship with your nieces and nephews. But it was also, I almost felt like I see my younger me in her, and I see my younger me was unseen, I guess. Not suggesting that I didn't have a great childhood. I had a great childhood, but in the era I was born, in the times I was born, in the family I was born, I felt very unseen. I was not important. We were in a joint family. Everyone was just pleasing other people. There was no time for kids. I didn't have the same bond with my parents the way I have now the bond with my son, because I hear him. If you need something, I'm going to respond to him. I'm present with him. There were about 10 people, right? In joint family, there's lots of people. But there was loneliness and feeling that I was unlovable or unseen. So my niece, just, the presence of her, seeing myself in her would trigger things. So when this happened, trigger occurred, and all I did at that time was I just sat down and wrote, I started journaling, what is it that I'm really feeling? And as I started writing, the more things came up. My mom was really young when she had me. She probably did her best, I'm sure she did her best. She just didn't know. She was only 18. She didn't know at that time. She was herself a kid, right? How to parent, maybe, she learned as she parented. And when she had my brother, she obviously had some experience, right? So I think those sort of things, no one outside of me is going to tell me. It's how I felt within me, and that is how I have grown up, right? So whenever there's a trigger, so maybe you have something similar, or you have the fear of abandonment because when you were very little, someone left. So that fear of abandonment then it can make us attract, the relationships where our partner is unavailable. So lots of things can happen due to the trigger. So that's why it's so important that as soon as you feel something, don't react, stop, and think what's the underlying reason for what's happening. Generally, it's not what you see is the thing, is some underlying cause. And what I have learned, again, I'm not a psychologist, but I have learned, in my process of rebuilding is that there's always something lying under the reaction is what needs to be healed. Because if we just kept healing superficially, it's just a band-aid. We are not healing the wound. So what we need to do as a community, as humans, is we need to recognize our emotions, triggers, and see, why is it actually I'm feeling bad about that? Like, why am I actually so upset about this thing? And you will most likely find out reasons, sometimes, related to your childhood, that has made you believe a story that is not true, right? So that's number one. That's why I feel like, according to my experience, life is the biggest teacher. Nothing else will teach us more than our lived experiences, more than our life. And that is why, coming to our second point, that is why sometimes life repeats the lessons. You'll hear so many times people will say, especially in their romantic relationships, I'm not sure why I keep attracting the same kind of a girl, or why I keep attracting the same kind of a guy. It's because we didn't take time to heal ourselves before we went into the second relationship. I see a lot of times people will have a relationship, rebound, and have the second relationship really, really, quickly. They didn't take enough time to know themselves and see what is it that's causing that problem, right? So they can heal it. So imagine if they were able to heal and then enter into the next relationship, it'll be beautiful. And that's one of the things why life repeats itself. So if you don't want that to happen to us, we need to rebuild our lives. And it's not hard. It takes time, it takes discipline, but it's possible. Number 3. The universe invites you to process it, to experience it. It is not going to explain to you, right? It's not going to be some magic thing will happen. You have to put in the work. I have to put in the work. No one else is going to do it for us, unfortunately, right? Like sometimes, before I went on to my healing journey, I would just close my eyes and say, God, just fix it. Just fix it. It would give me a temporary relief. It's like, yeah, I'm sure God will fix it. But God or universe would give you experiences so you learn, come on, Neha, wake up. And if I don't do that, then I'm going to experience the same thing over and over again. So if we are serious about changing our lives, we got to face it, we got to process it, and we got to heal ourselves. Alrighty. Number 4 is healing is ordinary. It's not that if I'm on a retreat, a breakthrough will happen. Although when you go to such a high vibrational place where there is, a lot of meditation happening, there is, I guess, a lot of chanting happening. A lot of people do get a breakthrough there, right? If you're really, really focused and really, really in alignment to what's going on. Sometimes people will have breakthrough after. But generally, again, that's with me, I will generally have a breakthrough or a thought when I am with myself, no one else around me. If I'm around a lot of people, I'm unable to be very much with me because I love socializing, I love talking, right? So whereas to feel the trigger, or to feel and understand the triggers, I personally have to be with myself. So everyone's different. So maybe you can get breakthroughs around other people, but I generally think that I can go more deeper when I'm by myself. So sometimes it would even be, like once all the evening duties are done and I'd be in my bed and I'm thinking about something like, this is not sitting right. I don't know why I'm feeling like that. Then I just get up, go in the living room or outside, and start journaling, start writing. That really, really helps me. Everyone's different, but something to think about, something to feel like, let's not make healing a big deal, but let's make it as part of our life and be conscious and be aware that, okay, if this happens, if I don't want to experience this again, I got to make some changes. Right, and that's in your control. So on that note, universe can touch you or trigger you or give you experiences again and again, but healing is your choice. Healing is something you can do for yourself, and I believe healing is the biggest form of self-love you can ever give to yourself. So guess what? Good news is you're already in the class of life. and you have the ability to heal yourself. Well, I have personally been using things like meditation, journaling, Reiki, and it has immensely helped me. On that note, I've done a little ebook for you guys on Soft Rebuild. These are all the practices that I went through, and it's my gift to you guys. So if you're interested, please download the copy and let me know how you find it. And thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Really hope that you get the best success on your journey to rebuild your life, healing all those triggers. And again, if you need help when you go through the triggers, you think, oh my gosh, it's too much for me to process, I really need to see someone. That's what I sometimes do. Although I know the breakthroughs will happen with myself, sometimes I know there's a thing that I'm unable to heal. So there was a point where I was like, I'm unable to forgive this person. I need to see someone to do this. So sometimes it's okay to get that help outside of you as well. It's a fine balance. You want to process it, want to understand yourself, and then see whether you can do it yourself. If not, get help. Alrighty, thank you very much, and I really appreciate you guys. Love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here. Remember, you're not broken, you are becoming. You chose to pause, you chose to feel, you chose to rebuild. You are loved, you are seen, you matter. I believe in your rise and the soft power of healing on your own terms. So go inwards and rediscover the beauty that's been with you all along.